Sports Talker Nation, welcome back once again. This is your host, the G-Man, as we continue our NL Central MLB preview for 2016. Today we're going to talk about the Cincinnati Reds, and this division has become a bit of the haves and the have-nots. Unfortunately for Cincinnati, they are now the latter, not the former. They had a really good run, had a bunch of good players, the rotation was strong. I don't know if it's because they're a small market team and they can't compete in that capacity. They had some bad decisions. They changed management. I don't know. But they are a team that to me looks very, very bad. As a Phillies fan, I certainly know what a bad team looks like. And this team is just not very strong this year. But maybe they can surprise. I don't think they're going to be in that 60-win area. They have a little too much talent for that, but that rotation is going to really struggle for them to not give up some runs. Hopefully their lineup can keep up. So let's see what we have with the Reds. Batting leadoff is Billy Hamilton. I am a guy who is known to love speed demons. Hamilton is an absolute speed demon. I would pay to see a race between Hamilton and D. Gordon. That said, the ongoing adage is you can't steal first base, and Hamilton has certainly proved that. He stole 65 bases last year, but he just cannot hit. I don't know if he tries to hit with too much power or tries to juice up a little too much, but he doesn't use his speed. You can't hit 230 in that leadoff, especially with an on-base percentage below 300. I know it's not the old days where you needed 350, but you got to have 320, don't you, out of your leadoff hitter? So Hamilton plays a good center field because he does have tremendous wheels. I love watching him run. Maybe he gets up to that 250 range with a 315 on base percentage, and I think he's a much more helpful player. But he is what he is, and that's what they have now to play center in Cincinnati, so he's going to get the chance to play every day. Brandon Phillips, they would love to trade Brandon Phillips for pretty much anything. His contract is big and meaty. His play doesn't match his contract anymore. He's still a real good second baseman, but his bat is just not what it used to be when he used to be a three-hitter hitting 25 home runs. He's just not that guy anymore. Father Time catches up with everybody. I think it's caught up with Brandon Phillips, so I don't think it's his fault. They would love to get rid of him, but it's just not in the offing. Batting third, Joey Votto. This is a guy who takes a lot of abuse for not expanding the strike zone, taking too many walks instead of trying to maybe make a pitcher make a mistake and take it out of the ballpark. He has great power. He also is a hell of a hitter. He's actually fun to watch hit. The problem is with that great batting eye and that terrible lineup around him, why would you ever pitch to Joey Votto? And I think that's what's going to happen. He may set a record with 180 walks this year. Other than any person not named Barry Bonds on steroids, he'll set the record for. Let's rephrase. I do think he's a good hitter. I think he can hit you 30 home runs and bat 300, but let's see. Batting fourth, Jay Bruce. He's all or nothing. Again, I like to use Dave Kingman as my reference point. He used to be a 260 hitter. Last few years, he's a 220 hitter. I think that's kind of what he's become. He swings and misses a lot. When he doesn't swing and miss, he can hit the ball a long way. I think they'd love to trade him as well. He's on a big contract. They were trying to trade him to the Orioles a little earlier in the season. For right now, he's your number 4 hitter. Still has a cannon arm in right field. Real good all-around athlete, just limited offensively because of that swing and miss capability. Batting fifth, I guess they have Devin Mesoraco coming back from injury. He really came out of nowhere to hit 25 home runs and only about 350 at-bats as a catcher. Defensively, he's an okay, not great catcher, but he's always hurt. He missed almost all of the year last year. They're trying to be careful with him. You keep hearing how now he has a hamstring pull. He's going to miss a week, but it's nothing severe or significant. We'll see. Catcher's a tough place to have leg problems when you squat and bend, and he had bad hips, so we'll see. But I do think offensively he has some upside. Euricio Suarez. Yes, there's a name you won't hear often. Euricio Suarez should be your third baseman and bat sixth. In most other lineups, he's an 8-hitter. In most other lineups, he's a utility player, but not with this team. They need the help. I think he can hit 15 home runs in the right situation, maybe be bat 260. I don't think he's a great player. I think he's a stopgap for when some of their younger minor leaguers come up, but he is what he is. Scott Schebler, I think, will get the first chance to play left field. He's a rookie. Not even one of their highest ranked prospects, but I think he's one of the most ready prospects they have, so I think he will get a look. After that, I guess you have Zach Cozart back at shortstop. This is a guy I can't believe that he plays as much as he does. I guess he's an okay shortstop, but man, he just doesn't hit well at all. I worry about the problems. I worry about his problems with the bat, but I think with this team, you live with the defense to try to help those young starting pitchers, so I think he's going to get a chance to play every day. Their bench, very, very weak. Good news is maybe it will have some young guys that can grow. They have like a Jose Peraza. I think long term they want him to play second base. That's why they're trying to trade Phillips so desperately. I think he'll be a good second baseman. He'll be your slap hitter at the top of the order, probably replace Hamilton as the leadoff hitter because he does get on base and he has excellent speed as well. Jesse Winker should be a long-term outfield replacement, probably playing left for Schebler or maybe right if Bruce goes. I think he's kind of a do-it-all Derek Bell type player for us old heads in the group who remember Derek Bell. 18 to 20 home runs, 15 to 18 stolen bases, 75 RBI, 75 runs, 275 average. I think he's a good player. I think he's a good player on a good team. I think he's an okay player on this team. And hopefully by the end of the year he starts getting at bats. On to the rotation. This is where I think their big problem is. They have almost no proven talent, and that which is proven is old. I like Raciel Iglesias quite a bit. I do think he's going to be a real good player. I think it may come as early as this year because he's got swing and miss capability. He throws extremely hard, and he's developing his other pitches. So I do think he's got a chance to really be a good pitcher for them. But with that lineup, he's going to have to be lights out for them not to lose, and I just don't see that happening. Anthony DeSclafani is probably your number two. Middle of the road guy, 3-4 pitcher on a good team. On this team, he's going to certainly pitch every fifth day. We'll see. Not a huge fan. Same can be said of a Michael Lorenzen. Brandon Finnegan. Brandon Finnegan is a reclamation project, was a number one draft pick, never could crack the rotation in Kansas City. He's certainly going to get his opportunities over here in Cincinnati, so we'll see. The number 5 starter is Homer Bailey. Homer Bailey's hurt, coming back from Tommy John. He has a huge, huge contract. It's just bad luck. I think he's a good guy. I don't think he's a lazy guy. He's a hard worker. I don't see him coming back anytime before the June-July phase. And even at that point, obviously, there's always going to be rust that you have to shake off. In their bullpen, another area of the Reds, this is why the Reds are really going to struggle this year. They can't rely on their pitchers to go real deep, and their bullpen doesn't offer a whole lot to me. I guess J.J. Hoover and Tony Cingrani could both be the closer. They both throw extremely hard, but neither one is a guy who you would look at it and say they're going to be a lockdown, shutdown guy. Hopefully one of them rises to the top. They can trade one or the other, get some young prospects, but the future, the immediate future for the Reds really looks bleak to me. I just can't rely on that pitching staff, and they don't have the bats to drive it, to play Colorado Rockies style. So I think they're going to struggle. For the Reds, let's say they go 72, 73 wins this year. Going to be a tough year. Hopefully they have some rebuilding that gets done this year. They can do what my Phillies did last year, start to gut it a little bit, get some younger guys in that lineup, get them the experience they need. But it's going to be rough this year. And for the 2016 MLB preview for the Cincinnati Reds, that's about all I have. I'm your host, the G-Man, and I am out.